Hey guys, and welcome back. So, a couple of weeks ago, I did record a video about an open source project, open source Zabbix MCP server developed by the InitMax, which has more than 230 tools, 57 API groups, and so on and so on. And it works, it's amazing. I still have it set it up on my system. As example, here I have a Claude desktop where I just created a new host through the MCP server called MCP server. Here we can check it out in a data collection host. Here it is. And here, like the first command, I also like listed all of the existing hosts. And these are just like the small bits that you can do with MCP server, but the real functionality is just like amazing. You can generate all sort of analytics and configure this stuff, create templates, assign a templates, create triggers, and so on and so on. So all of that works just amazing. And if the question is like, if you already made a video about this, then why are we here? Answer is very simple. The guys were not sitting on their success without doing anything. They also worked a lot on this and improved the functionality, and many new versions are released, and the latest version is version 1.23. And purpose of this video is like to cover all of the changes and all of the new stuff that we have. And one of the biggest changes is the admin portal for the MCP server, which kind of is going to make your journey with this MCP server much more streamlined, especially if you are like afraid of the big configuration files and like don't know what to really do with them. It's very complicated. So right now it's going to be very easy. If you need to install it from the scratch, you can find my first video. I'm going to link it somewhere above the screen, or you can just go to the GitHub page of the InitMax Zabbix MCP server. Then scroll down here in the table of contents, you will find installation. There's basically just 3 commands to set it up on your system. So just clone the repository and start the installation script. I had older version still available and running, and if you do have the same, then our path is basically with the upgrade. And initially what I did, I just went to my MCP server directory and did a git pull and hope that that is going to be enough. Well, surprise, surprise, it's not enough. You actually need to clone. You need to go to the MCP server directory, then fetch all of the changes from the GitHub repository. But then the last thing that we need to do is again our install script, but with the update command. And that is going to update everything automatically. When the update is going to be completed here in a shell script, the web interface, the graphic user interface is available, turned on out of the box. You can turn it off if you want here in a config.toml file, search for 9090 and just switch admin enabled to false. And 9090 is also an answer to what is the port where the graphic user interface is running. So it's the IP address of our MCP server, and the port is 9090. So this also has like a login screen and the username and a password. By default, first time when you do the upgrade or a clean installation is going to be displayed here in the shell with somewhere very much above in the history. So I'm not going to be able to show you mine, but it's there. The default username is admin with a lowercase, and then there is complex password. If for some reason you missed the password and you cleared the CLI history or something like that, don't worry. There is a command to reset the admin password, and basically again we need to trigger our installation script, and the command is set admin password, and then just follow the prompt, which will give you an option to log in. What we can do in this graphic user face, everything that we could do from the CLI, but right here it is much more easier. And if we're starting this from the scratch, then probably for you it is first thing that you need to do is add your Zabbix server. I already have mine like production here, but basically if you don't, what you need to do is click add server, call it somehow, provide the URL to the Zabbix frontend, which you can grab just from the URL here, and you don't need all of the full path to some file, whatever. Just just the root URL for the front. And as you can see here, I have my IP address / Zabbix. That's it, nothing else. And API token, where to get it? You can get it in a Zabbix frontend itself. You need to go in the users, API tokens, create a new API token, call it whatever, choose that it's going to be for the user admin, provide some sort of expiration period. Here is your token. So copy paste this, put it inside the API token, and add the new server. You will have basically MCP server connected to your Zabbix and able to run. But you know what? Sometimes we're worried about security and authentication and stuff like that. And that's why there is such thing, a menu option as MCP tokens, where we can create a token for our server. So token name, call it like, I don't know, Claude desktop, whatever, gonna be fine. Then we can define a scopes. Like scopes can be limited on the Zabbix frontend for API key, but we can also limit that for the MCP server itself. Like we can allow everything for the monitoring or like deny everything for the monitoring, and the scope is gonna apply for the token itself. We can choose for which Zabbix servers do we want to apply this token, like for the production as example. We can make it as a read-only token, and we can also have a restriction for IP addresses, just to make sure that even if somehow some bad persons get access to our MCP client token, they will not be able to do that because of IP restrictions in place. And expiry period, like never expires by default, where you can choose it here. Then we create a token, and then when that is done, we copy this. Then we go on the client MCP wizard, click on our production server, click as example on a Claude desktop, and then we can pick our AI client where we want to use this MCP token, as example the Claude desktop. Then here we need to provide the IP address of our MCP server, which for me is a very different story because I'm using a Cloudflare. But if you have like a proper installation, just provide MCP server IP address. If you need some guide on how to avoid like HTTPS requirement for the Claude desktop, check out my first video. And paste your BER token here, and this basically generates the full config JSON for MCP server connection in a Claude desktop. And here you will find all of the tutorials, like how to set it up on macOS, Windows, or Linux as example. And then your doesn't open. I don't know what's wrong with my Claude. And then you can use your Claude desktop with this specific MCP token with all of the restrictions in place. Another good thing that is possible, that you are not necessarily need to be the only admin who can manage all of your MCP stuff for the server, so that you can go to the admin users page here. That's like another page, by the way, where you can change your password if you don't like the auto-generated one. And you can also create new users here. It can be admin with a full access, can be operator that is able to manage the tokens and the templates. And about the templates we're going to talk next, where it could just be a viewer for the read-only access, right? And then also just to make sure about everything that is happening in your MCP server configuration, there's also the audit log where you can see who did what and have a track of everything. And you can also export your audit log to the CSV file. Settings wise, everything that you can do in the configuration file in the CLI, you can basically do also here, like MCP listen port, host and port, sorry. Compact output is a very good thing. Like if you want to save your tokens, if you have a limited usage of those, probably you do not care, but basically this kind of limits the output of the MCP server response to include just the most important information and avoid all of the garbage stuff. Response max characters. What else do we have? Like if we want to turn on HTTPS SSL for our MCP server, then here you can provide locations of all the TLS certificates, course, IP allow list, rate limit, if you want tool exposure for what you want to include in your MCP server. Everything can be configured here. I also wanted to talk about the limitation on the max token usage and the timeout of the seconds. But be aware that MCP server is basically executing API of the Zabbix, which sits on the Zabbix frontend, meaning that all of the requests of API are also limited by the PHP timeout settings. So just make sure that there is no interference between the MCP server timeout and PHP timeout as example. So if example you're running out of the timeout and you just keep increasing this and it doesn't help, and you have this for like 10 minutes and it still times out after like 2 minutes or something, it's definitely going to be a PHP setting which you need to adjust. And one of the last things that we still didn't cover is the reporting, and reporting is in a beta version. Here is where it is on reports, PDF reports, which is in a beta, and the report generate tool produces professional PDF reports from Zabbix data. Reports are generated on the server side with Ginger2 templates, and Wheezy print, the LLM only chooses the report's type and parameters, so the output is deterministic and consistent across runs. Why this is very cool? Because have you ever tried to generate some sort of PDF with LLM, maybe Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT? It sucks. They just cannot generate a meaningful PDF. It's usually some sort of gibberish stuff hovering over each other, and it doesn't work. So here, with this PDF reports, like PDF report is generated on the backend side, so it's not really done by the LLM, so it works very well. And for your PDF reports, you can provide also some branding, like a company name, report subtitle, and report logo. If you have one, you can upload here, and it's going to appear in all of your reports. By default, at least it was for me, I did upgrade of my MCP server, and if I would go to the report templates, it would show here that reports are not enabled because it requires to install dependencies, two Python libraries with a pip install. And there is a command like pip install, and I don't remember what were exactly the packages, where the second option was to install with reporting. And I think it is somewhere here, like pip install MCP server reporting, or pip install, sorry, this one or this one, so that you have all of the dependencies for reporting, and then you need to restart your MCP server, and then you can also check in the log file. Here you will find somewhere report PDF reporting enabled, report generate tool registered, meaning that okay, now this is supported. And the second thing, if you will go to the report templates here, you will not see any warnings, so this is right now working. And there are 5 built-in templates for the reports. The one is availability, capacity host, capacity network, backup, and a showcase. You can click on a preview for each of them to see like how it could look with some real data. Here's capacity, here is capacity network, backup, and showcase. Show like basically everything that we have. What else is important? You can create your own templates, and there are multiple ways how you can do that. Create a template, call it somehow, give a brief description. So you can do it with a visual editor where you just hover all of the stuff that you want to include, like the metric card, hosts loop, and space. This is a little bit clunky, right? And the second option is to do that directly via HTML code. but I believe the most user-friendly approach would be to generate with the AI, with the only restrictions, sort of. We need to have our own provider API key to actually use this feature. So if you have like ChatGPT, you need to paste your GPT key here, and then you can just define and describe what exactly you want your report to look like, what data do you want to include, maybe what sort of items or triggers or some overall calculation and analytic of the data, and it will create a template for you. Then when you have these templates, it's just a matter of you to go to your LLM as Cloud Desktop, ChatGPT, whatever else, and just ask, hey, generate me availability report for a host group called Linux servers, like that. And in the output, you should get a PDF report with everything as it is predefined in your template. But this is still in a beta version, so let's keep our eyes open and see how this grows. I don't know. I think in the long run, that's it. Hope you guys had fun. Go and try it out. Definitely a very interesting thing. Definitely very helpful. Other than that, thank you for watching. As usual, don't forget to subscribe, and we're going to see you later. So, bye-bye.